Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Dragonheir Silent Gods. For today's video, we're going to continue my Ultimate Beginner Guide series. This time we are talking about the Alliance system. But before we get into that, let's give a quick little teaser for some Season 4 content. Thank you to Dragonheir Silent Gods for sponsoring today's video. Dragonheir is my favorite sponsor because it's my favorite game I've played in such a long time. I really enjoy the graphics. They really knocked it out of the park with the new heroes of this season. We are on to Season 4, new season, new heroes, new Otherworld. There's some really killer bosses this time around, and I hope you guys will enjoy. If you haven't already checked out Dragonheir, be sure to download using my link in the description or the pinned comment. It's available on Android, iOS, Mac, PC, Steam, or Epic Games. Alright, and in case you missed it, this is like the 5th video of this series I'm currently working on, going over all the different areas of the game in more depth, like an ultimate beginner's guide. Way too much information for one video, and I really hope this series is helpful. It is kind of designed for more of a new player standpoint from like Season 1, the new Season 1 experience, but I'm sure some veteran players can pick up some tips along the way as well. So, again, in case you missed it, I have already done videos on like the first week of gameplay, kind of those initial frequently asked questions, lots of information there during that video. And then we went into the main mechanics of the game, and there's so much to understand regarding gearing and stats and positioning and presets and all sorts of fun stuff there. Then I did a video on the different game modes and bosses, kind of giving the TLDR for each dungeon, all the different content regarding like this campaign and story, Vortex, etc. Then my most recent video was actually on the summoning system, the gacha system, talking more in depth about when to summon, what are the events like, and how does it all work, special events, regular events, whatever, we talk about it all. And so now, in this video, we are going to talk about the Alliance system. What does it look like from the leadership standpoint? What do leaders got to change? What are all of these tabs here? What do the commissions really mean? And yeah, the Vortex boss is going to be a topic again as well. I will have some repeat information there from my previous video where I mentioned Vortex, so you could skip that if you've already heard it. But yeah, we also talk about the Alliance duels. So there are a couple different types of competitive Alliance versus Alliance type matches, so I dive into those a little bit as well. As an Alliance leader, you can get a code to invite people if you're in a Season 1 Alliance, where people can join. This is only during Season 1. As Alliance leader, you can, of course, accept applications and require people to be approved or not. So as the Alliance leader, I set weekly commissions up, and as we complete them, we pick different ones to add in as well. That's kind of the Alliance haul. The Alliance rally is our extra points we get by everyone working on doing Temporal Vortex every day. This is something you should do every day, not only to help you, but to help your guild as well. So there's that. Again, commissions, you can always keep an eye. If you're not quite sure what to farm for the day, go check out your Alliance commissions and be like, oh, okay, we have one for Grave of Rot. Yeah, why not? I'll go farm some Grave of Rot. You could help out your Alliance greatly. I also want to jump in here with commissions that as the leader, I want to give the quick advice of trying to double dip. Like at the beginning of the week, pick the hard ones first, but double dip with them. Let's say there is a hero training event going on and you want to pick Frost Domain here with the Frost Domain. Oh, it's not here, of course. Go figure. With a, you know what I mean. Go figure. The one I click isn't here. But yeah, like if you want to double up on the same dungeons, like Grave of Venom, Grave of Venom, Grave of Venom on all 3 difficulties, it's really smart because then you can rack up the commissions quicker because everyone's working on the same goals. You could always do logical stuff too, like the fill-in stuff like Arena is so much easier to do now, so I save that to the later of the week. But make sure at the beginning of the week, you actually take the time to pick the harder things. Like if you don't have a super active Alliance, you might want to pick the harder Vortex ones early to make sure you get enough battles in. And try to just work around events that are happening for everything else. It's really the big key, I think, is working around events. So trying to do stuff like if there's things for farming gear, you pick the things logical for farming gear, and then save the easiest stuff that's quick to do for the very last couple days when the commissions are going to refresh. And speaking of commissions, all those lovely, lovely tickets here, let's just say you can certainly buy out everything every week if you have a fairly active alliance. Like, our alliance isn't even that active and I've had no trouble. This is something I would say always buy out your Starlight and buy out your Essence of Creation. You're gonna need it. And then other than that, the rest of the alliance shop is kind of weak, honestly. I wouldn't overly stress buying all the other stuff. Maybe just buy the ores so you could easily make some gear if your alliance is ranked out to where you can at least get the better version. But honestly, I think at the end of the day, in future seasons, if you're needing just the regular iron to craft, you can buy a little bit of this. Otherwise, just buy some gold if you're low on gold. But you're probably going to find yourself with more vouchers than you actually need to spend in the shop. And then there are these things called alliance duels. So this is the Golden Wing match. This is like CVC for the other game that a lot of us come from, where it's based on your points for doing activities, but it is a little bit capped. You can only do an upper limit. Like, see, only 200 out of 200 stamina counts for me at this time on this account. It does get higher later on, but that's what it is for right now. So only my first 200 stamina used for the day count toward that. And that's where you can kind of see the right here. You get bonus points based on your so you get points based on which levels of content you're doing. So that's kind of cool. And then how fast you clear it also. So like your fastest dungeon clear is what you should do for that, or your highest level of goblin if that's what you need for your account. You get more points for Vortex and Arena. So this is where it's less capped, but it is limited at the end of the day. Although I guess you could still use Worm Arrow and buy endless arena battles if you're a crazy pusher, but whatever. Getting points for Arena based on the top whatever, up to only top 100 is the cap. So there's only so many whales that you're going to have to worry about. But getting points there you go. That's the bonus points you receive, which actually is a lot of points and really adds up fast. If you're in the top 100, 750 points for every attack, which is really, really cool. And that's kind of how that one goes. I really like those because the rewards are honestly very nice and they're pretty easy to obtain. You get a bunch of Starlight here, which I love. Some Worm Arrows, some gems, which so helpful for progressing. I love that so much. Yeah, that's kind of the reward system there. Some auto battles. And then we have another type. There's two types of guild versus guild interaction right now, besides the boss fight. And that's a Sparkle tournament. So this tournament, you go in and the alliance leader sets defenses, and you're going to fight your enemy's defenses with just different teams trying to take them out. But honestly, it's a little bit different. Only one person has to actually fight everything, and everybody gets the rewards. So if you notice, like, oh, only 2 people went in and did all the work and I didn't even get to try, don't worry, you still get all of the same rewards as a guild. It's just whoever takes out the people, anyone can go in immediately, take out all the enemies, job done. Second day, you take out the main enemy, job done. That's it. Pretty easy. It only needs 3 attacks for the final boss. And yeah, there's lots of really great rewards, including Master Scrolls. So depending on where your alliance is as well, if you win on attack, you get these great rewards, which you could see behind my head. Again, Master Scroll, really good stuff. And if you win on defense, you get even more rewards. And that is depending on your rank as an alliance. And you rank up as an alliance based on these things here, which you can see: Sparkle Tournament and Golden Points, winning draws or victories, winning on defense, losing on defense, winning on whatever. That all affects your rank. So pretty good for like even on a moderately active guild in this server. We're still in the second highest tier for that. And if we were a little bit more active, it'd be very easy to be in the highest tier. It's also important to note that there's this shop that leaders can purchase boosts and give them to designated players to help them overtake a battle. So if you need an extra boost to just help take out an enemy, be sure to ask your leader. There's also a way to gain points to show some contribution here with these neutral units. It's really not an important role per se at the moment, but if you just want to show your clan, your alliance that you're trying, you can go in and fight these basic battles, but it's really not important. And just a reminder, like I mentioned earlier, alliances are only within one server. Alliances are not cross-server, so keep that in mind. It can get a little bit scarce, but if your alliance is active, you're going to have a really big advantage. So this big bad boss here, we love it. He's so good. The Temporal Vortex. You get daily rewards for completing. And yeah, based on your rank, you're going to get extra rewards as well on top of your normal rewards just for hitting certain damage milestones. So I was top 60 in the server. Boom. Easy stuff there. And you can see the rewards here. Depending on which difficulty we're fighting, that's the daily rewards. And then there is ranking rewards as well for every day. And these are the seasonal currency that are really important. So early on, this is the only way to get seasonal currency to help you rank in the season rankings to get those end rewards. So this you really want to try to do. But it's not a massive difference for some of the levels. So I get it if people don't go crazy, but from 150 to 300 is a pretty big gap. 51 to 150, there's plenty of room to place there if you're moderately active or have a decent team. I haven't even tried that hard and I'm still at top 60. And so with Vortex, every week there is a change of I guess you would just, yeah, a change of buffs or debuffs. Bosses take more damage based on certain things or receive more damage, or allies with a shield or whatever, or whatever healing is less, but shields are more. Like there's all sorts of things that change depending on the current week for the boss. I obviously have videos also on the Temporal Vortex if you want to see more about timings, positioning, and all of that. But I will go in and click just real quick to show you guys how beautiful this game really is if you're watching this video trying to get an idea of everything before you start playing. It's pretty wonderful. But overall, the best things for Vortex in Season 1 are going to be Wild, Dauntless, and sometimes Rally if you pull like Filto even. And honestly, you're going to be very surprised. Odd did this. He used Isotarian, and so did Pip actually. Early on, they used Isotarian as a main DPS in Vortex. It really does sound bonkers, but it's true, which is awesome. It's so fun to see some really unique stuff like that. I'm gonna try to pull that up here. Okay, he's using his Dauntless team now. I think I can find Odd free to play 48 million damage with Isotarian as the main DPS. He does more damage than Usha being enabled by a legendary Losenia. So good. He's the main DPS. So he's a sleeper pick for a Ice and Necrotic team for any of your roster. And even Odd told me he's been using Isotarian in almost every single dungeon, goblin, vortex, everything. So really good hero. All right, and that kind of covers the alliance stuff overall. There's a lot more details you can see for the fine print, but I don't think it's all important to read everything. So I want to let you guys know what's coming up next for this series. I still am going to go over the free and paid shops, what to buy, what should you spend your money on, or in-game resources. And that's going to be a bit of an in-depth conversation, really looking at everything, including artifacts. Then we're going to also talk about the events in-game. We're going to explain the regular events that pop up regarding just, dungeon events and basic farming stuff. that are every week or throughout the progress of the season, and the special events like the exclusive heroes of the season, as well as D&D collabs. That's all going to be talked about. Then we're going to go into the Otherworld exploration and Endgame boss content. That's a really big topic, and the good thing is the events kind of prepare you for that. So we'll talk about that as well. And then we will end this series with the seasons and reset, talking about, how do seasons work? What do you keep? What do you not keep? And what are our hope for seasons in the future? But all right, guys, that's been all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Be sure to download via Android, iOS, Mac PC, Steam, or Epic Games if you haven't already. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. And thank you to Dragonheir Silent Gods for sponsoring today's video.